Just reminding you, Donald, in his campaign, promised no new wars, didn't he? He claims to have stopped wars, but he hasn't. And in fact, he's bombed vessels from other countries with no proof. Done it 2 or 3 times. Just utterly vaporized. These boats saying that, just assuming they're doing nefarious stuff. And aside from that, just about most all the world leaders that aren't dictators hate him. And, well, we could have had Ukraine a lot further by now, but, he dropped the ball for a long time being stupid. And, oh yeah, the trade wars, because that is a war. And, oh yes, the war against we the people. And the ICE tirade on minorities. And now pretty much even fucking people that kind of look white, but maybe not. So, no new wars. You said it was that and the economy, saying he'll bring prices down, right? That's why you voted for him? It was the no wars and the lower prices. So we just followed although dozens of not only wars but types of wars he's already started in 8 months. And oh yes, those lower prices. Where are you right now? Because the prices aren't lower by me. Are they lower by you? Yeah, I had about 2.5 bags less than the normal amount of groceries with the same amount of money spent. So, where are your prices lower? Where are that? Where are you? Where is that? Huh? Is that in America that the prices have lowered? Because they haven't lowered. They haven't even stayed the same. They've gone up. So, what's he done that you voted for? Oh, you wanted the Epstein files. He's not doing that. How? They'd rather shut down the House because the Arizona got a new House person from Arizona. Her father, Grijalva, last name, passed, and she won her father's seat. And Mike Johnson, little Grinder Johnson, Mike Grinder Johnson, did not want to swear her in, refused for a few days, and then said, everybody get home and have an early vacation. Because she's already made it known. She is the 218th vote to force the release of the Epstein files in full, with only the absolute necessity redacted. And they won't be able to stop it. Once she's made it known, as soon as she's sworn in, she's turning around and she's signing. Mikey doesn't want that to happen. And they also don't want to concede on the health care. And they are saying that it's health care for illegals, but I'm here to tell you that it's not. If you go around rush hour, any of the overpasses, pedestrian overpasses, you might see the visibility brigade there all across this country. They might be having signs up that say something to the effect of undocumented pay taxes and get no benefits, which is true. Even if they're not on a program or something, they still have to have those taxes they're taken out before they get their money. But they're not, only on very, very rare occasions, and that is what the GOP is trying to say is all the time. But it's very rare occasions that they're on another program, but they can't, it's like okay, for emergency care in this country, if you need life or death, where you may die if you don't get care, even if you're an undocumented person in this country, and this has been this way for some time, you have to be seen to at least be stabilized so you don't die. Now, usually it's the hospitals that are taking up that cost, and that's not fair. So that part is what has provisions in the government, in the program, that there's a provision that it's health care that was given to undocumented people, yes, but it was given at an emergency room, and they are repaying them for that because they could not disobey the federal law that that hospitals have to provide care to at least stop somebody from dying, even if they don't have insurance, even if they're an undocumented person. They're a human, and you must save human life. You will deal with after they're stabilized. Say you want to send them back under medical, whatever. But you have to care for them. That is what they're talking about when they say, oh, but it's medical care for illegal, for undocumented people. That is care that hospitals, emergency rooms are obligated by law all over this country to provide life-saving, stabilizing care. They should not have to absorb all the costs, especially in smaller towns and things like that. That is the program under all of that. That it compensates the hospitals that did have to. They send the paperwork, and then they will draw the compensation. So they're not out of that basic, those basic funds. That is not giving health care to undocumented. And the fact is, they work here. They get taxes taken out to spend on all that's what your taxes are for, If they don't want to have health care or social or all that shit, then we don't need to pay taxes to the federal government anymore because they're not providing any of that. Just so you know. And the Democrats, what they're fighting for is, in reality, what we were fighting for with that big, what they call the big beautiful bill, which is the big bend over bill, trying to take away Medicaid, especially Medicare secondary, but we're still fighting for that. That's what we're saying. No, we want the provision that you do not fucking touch those things. You don't fuck with that, and we'll do the rest of it. Even though we don't like the rest of it, at least the health care will not be fucked with. That's all the Democrats are saying. You should be yaying that, because 70% of the people that don't pay their own health care are probably on some form of Medicaid or Medicare. They call it different things in different states, but it's still the same thing, just different names. Did you know that? When they said, oh, Obamacare, that's the CARE Act. It was the same fucking thing. Oh, we think the CARE Act should stay, but not Obamacare. It's the same motherfucking thing. It's the same fucking thing. just called different things in different states. That is the undocumented getting health care at our dime. So, if you didn't know any of this, you might want to let it sink in a little bit. Because that's what those signs in the overpasses mean when they say immigrants pay taxes, get no benefits. That's what it means. They have to pay taxes, but they cannot afford, they're not allowed to be on food stamps, the EBT. Don't get the housing voucher program availability to them. Don't get Medicaid or healthcare stuff like that. They don't get any of those programs. They pay into them, but they don't get to draw anything from it. Just like most blue states put more money into those funds by paying federal taxes, more blue states pay more money into taxes for the federal government than the red states. But it's the red states that draw the majority of the money in those programs. So basically, the blue states have excess and they're sharing with the red states. It's kind of stupid for people to want to secede to red and blue when the blue states are the ones that have the productivity and the surplus, and it's the red states that are always needing the handouts. Interesting.